I think if any of the aldermen are interested, you'll certainly find voluminous amounts of material in the city files downstairs, including reports on composting and recycling. These were continued by a group that I was associated with called the Nelson Conservation Center, which in 1978 prepared a comprehensive waste recycling plan for Nelson. A special study was done in 1979, totally analyzing the amount of waste that was produced in Nelson and exactly what quantities of each kind. All of that material is available downstairs. At the time that we attempted to do this, 15 years ago, we were told we were ahead of our time. Kind of hoping that our time has come.
No, we're late now.
In response to something that Alderman Barry said, with regard to pulp mills, we should just be aware that the provincial government has seemingly announced a policy of allowing the construction of 2 new pulp mills in British Columbia, which are going to utilize virgin wood to produce that pulp. Perhaps part of what I think Ms. Walters is trying to get at in her report is there needs to be some political will on the part of all levels of government, and certainly the provincial government could show some leadership here by saying that any new pulp mills further in the province should be perhaps run on a certain percentage or totally, if the volume is justifying it, on recycled material. You know, those kinds of actions will certainly help make recycling a viable possibility. But as our example here 17 years ago proved in Nelson, if you don't have the political and moral will coming from all levels of government, it's not going to happen. You can have all the volunteers you want in the world, but we're going to run out of steam eventually, and the problem is still going to be there.
Council members, any other questions? Alderman Grill?
Just a question in reference to recycling. The material has to be segregated, of course. I'm just wondering, in the view of the recent TV coverage of recycling in the coast, I'm not sure what Surrey is the recycling center right now that it produces, I think, 35% effectiveness. But there is a recycling center that's closing simply because of the fact of the untidiness of the area and the handicapped people that are working in the area. I was just wondering what the provincial government, if you have any information, whether the provincial government has really, I know that they're in favor of recycling because we did have an entourage of government officials here not too long ago regarding recycling and their enthusiasm for the progress of recycling. I was just wondering if you've heard what has happened to that particular, I'm not sure where it is, where it's written, or what it is, that they're closing the particular center because of recycling, simply because of the tidiness of the area. It has created employment, and it has cut down on the usage of the garden site to an extent. But I'm just wondering if you know anything what happened as a result of that.
Is this in the Lower Mainland somewhere?
I believe it's somewhere. It was on TV on several. On 2 occasions, I can't recall what it was. We were an employee of 3. It was quite an operation. In other words, as you stated, Mr. Walters, that it was breaking out even. But the fact is, there were 3 handicapped people involved that were self-sustaining in employment as the thing. I just want to know if you've heard of any feedback or anything contrary since the last time we talked with the government officials. Have you?
I haven't heard about this specific recycling operation closing down, no. I do know that at the in the Lower Mainland and in the Victoria area, there, the Capital Regional District is organizing a huge recycling effort, that will take in the whole Victoria area. And because of that, perhaps some of the smaller programs that have been going may be closing down. But I don't know about this particular one.
No, I'm not sure. Thank you.
Other questions or discussion, Council? Hearing none, thank you for responding to council's request and attending today. Alderman Neville knows well that he has a mandate from this council to speak for and vote for a recycling project, and certainly study leading to that conclusion at the regional district level.
Thank you very much.
You've bolstered that. Thank you for being here. That's the end of the audiences on the agenda, Council. Item 5 is a request for a proclamation for Heritage Week. Maybe we could introduce that. Mr. Administrator, do we know who sponsored this request?
Heritage Advisory.
Yeah. Oh, terrific. Oh, good. Do take off your coat.
Well, I thought I'd wear it anyway because I have to leave.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, Mr. Wellwood is going to come up to the dais and he's going to witness our favorable vote, and we'll sign it right away.
I would move we proclaim the week February 26th Heritage Week in Nelson.
Second.
Thanks very much. I don't have to make a speech.
Well, you haven't seen the vote outcome yet. Proclamations require unanimous consent. Do we have a gadfly? All those in favor? Any opposed? No gadflies. Thanks for being here for it, in your old-fashioned outfit.
Mr. Wellman is the chairman of the Heritage Advisory Committee. He's wearing his heritage costume. Thank you, Ron.
Yeah, it is old.
Yeah, we all look more heritage every day, don't we?
Your Worship, I think
Thanks
we
a lot,
should
everyone.
recognise Mr. Wellwood as well for being the author of our heritage motor and walking tours around the city. I think he did a great job.
Thanks a lot.
And the new printing is out for the walking tour, isn't it?
I believe so. I can't keep track of them all.
No, it's a popular item.
We'll create a third one soon.
Terrific. Thanks for being here.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Robert.
Item 6 on the agenda is recommendations from the Grant and Aid Committee.
I move adoption of the recommendation of the Grant and Aid Committee.
Second.
Hearing no debate, all those in favor?
Under a question?
Yeah, you got to speak up though when it's on the motion. Go ahead.
I'd like to ask Alderman Berry a question. According to our policy manual, I think possibly the request from Jubilee Manor might fit in the category of, I read the recommendation correctly, the resolution for council. And item A states as hospital or nursing homes in or out of the city of Nelson. I understand that Jubilee Manor now is present in advanced intermediate care institution, and it does have nursing facility and a nursing nurse in attendance, and it's in between, I suppose, a senior citizens home or advanced state of age. And I was just wondering if it could fit in that category, Your Worship. When I first introduced this recommendation for council 2.5 years ago, I believe it was, I was of the understanding that it could fit in in these categories. Item number D, resolution number D is also individual group of organizations considered by the council to be contributing to the general interest and to the benefit of the city. It's a non-profit organization, and it was started as a private venture. It was, of course, it was funded, Your Worship, by federal and provincial governments at the time. And I was just wondering if perhaps these resolution could apply to the request. That's the question I will ask Alderman Berry.
If I might, Mr. Mayor, in response to Alderman Grill, the concern in the Grant and Aid Committee wasn't, everybody realized that, in fact, Jubilee Manor performs a useful function within our city, and we enjoy having them here. But if we analyze out the number of institutions that fall into a similar or like category, we are establishing quite a precedent. The hospital has full-time nurses, as you pointed out. If we were to establish a precedent and a policy whereby we gave a grant and aid for all sewer and water expenditures for things like the hospital, and we've got Mount St. Francis and Jubilee Manor, and then it would be Shaw Rest Home, there really would be no end to it. And if you notice the rationale under the policy, we have invited Jubilee Manor that if they are in tough straits, please contact us. We're not trying to say, golly, go get lost. We're saying on a normal basis, no, we don't want to fund those. If you have an emergency or an extraordinary situation, by all means come back to the city council, and your request would be would be considered very seriously. It's a real concern about a precedent. I mean, we're talking about a lot of money if we start having the other institutions coming to us for similar grants and aid.
Is there other debate on the motion to approve the grants in aid as recommended? Mr. Administrator?
But, Your Worship, I'm just going to mention also that the other thing to bear in mind is that we understand also that the Jubilee Manor gets funding from the province for their operations up there. They're subsidized, so that municipality subsidizing them as well would be, in a sense, double taxation. So that was taken into account as well.
I guess what you're saying is you could start getting a shift of responsibility from the province to the municipality if we start at first being nice and of course wanting to support our domestic institution becomes a precedent, and next year it's expected, and pretty soon you're carrying all these costs.
Well, that's what it could be. It could lead to through the precedent that Alderman Berry was alluding to.
Well, I don't hear a lot of debate, so I suspect that there's some reflection of agreement around the table. On the motion, all those in favor? Opposed? Alderman Grill votes opposed. Carries. Item 7 is a letter from the Ministry of the Environment regarding the former West Star timber site.
We'll receive the letter and invite Mr. McDonald to come and speak to council.
Second.
Hearing no debate, all those in favor? Carried. Item 8, a letter from the RDCK agreeing to the appointment of our treasurer, Lloyd Mosley, to the Economic Development Commission.
Will be received.
Second.
Hearing no debate, all those in favor? Carried. Number 9, from the Economic Development Commission, confirming that arrangements have been made for a Beautiful BC article.
Move the letter be received for information.
Second?
Now, on the motion, do we know whether the chamber is buying any of these? Does the chamber delegate know? Who's our chamber delegate? I've forgotten. Do you have?
I've heard nothing about it, Mr. Mayor. I can make some inquiries.
Might be an idea. This is the time to speak up if people want to put dibs in for them. Alderman Berry, do you happen to be aware? Is Nelson going to be the cover story?
Not that I'm aware of, Mr. Mayor.
Not guaranteed as part of the package.
No. What I can mention that the Economic Development Commission are buying 2,000 copies. 1,000 they're making available to the city free of charge. 1,000 to areas E and F and for the commission's use. So whether or not the chamber is buying any, I'm really not sure. That would have to be checked out through.
I wonder, is there a feeling around the table that perhaps if this is a good item, we can stock up on them and maybe from the promotional account buy 1,000 or 2,000 more? I mean, if it's a really good story with nice pictures, it's a valuable promotional item for years to come.
I've read the article, and I'm sure at least one other member of council has as well.
I'm sure it'll be good.
I thought the article was quite enjoyable. I thought it was a good article.
And what about photo proofs?
I, of course, haven't seen those.
Alderman McDonald, have you seen
Haven't
them?
seen them, no.
All the promises.
Yeah. No show.
They told me, well, you'll see them in a week, no problem, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a year later.
A week can be a long time. I don't know.
I wonder, Mr. Administrator, can you give me some guidance? Do we have a committee structure into which it would fit to consider whether we should buy more of these? Or just deal with it at the council table now?
I would suggest you just deal with it at council table.
Well, you like the story, and the pictures are almost certain to be good. You did see proofs of the pictures, didn't you?
No?
No?
No.
Okay.
No. But, I mean, I've seen photographs that he's taken in previous issues, and I mean, he's the sort of regular photographer and the graphic designer of the magazine, so I would assume that they should be up to snuff.
Perhaps, Mr. Mayor, if I might make a suggestion, that it might be appropriate that we could use the potential of the city of Nelson buying additional copies as a little bit of a carrot to trying to get closer to that front cover. We could request to see those pictures and you know, it's just that extra little enticement. I'm not sure that it will work. But I mean, the commission has contracted to buy 2,000 copies. But whatever the city buys in addition to that might induce them to put us on the front cover. It certainly would be nice to be on the front cover. Maybe we could refer it back to somebody just to find out, perhaps yourself, find out if they would be amenable to that sort of idea.
Yeah, with a phone call, maybe I could come back with a recommendation, and I don't know, if we offer to buy 2,000 of them, are they willing to put us on the front or guarantee something like that? We'll do a little bidding, shall we?
Why not?
I move to receive the item and refer it to the mayor.
Well, there's a motion on the floor to receive for information, but do you want to just add that to the motion?
Sure.
Okay. The seconder agrees? I don't know who seconded. Yeah? Okay. Hearing no more debate, all those in favor? Carried. Item 10 is a resolution regarding downstream benefits, a position to be put forward at the Regional Municipal Convention.
I would move this resolution be forwarded to the Regional Municipal Association as is.
I'll second it.
Just like to comment, Mr. Mayor, I think that this is the...
I would like to congratulate the administrator on the wording of the resolution. I think it has much more impact than the first draft that we saw.
Well, let's hope it starts a snowball. It's been raised at the federal level that this region should benefit from the Columbia River Treaty, and we found in the protocol that at least some aspect of the Columbia River Treaty projects were supposed to accrue to this area for economic development. If we start clamoring now, perhaps we'll be heard before the day comes when the United States starts sending $100 million a year checks north, put in our dibs for it. Hearing no more debate, all those in favor? Carried. Delayed items as adopted with the agenda. The first item being a letter from Municipal Affairs inviting us to submit applications for the Premier's Award of Excellence in Accessible Design. The City Hall does not qualify. Any advice, Mr. Administrator, what we might do with something like this?
Well, I guess probably worship that perhaps to refer it perhaps to both the Advisory Planning Commission and the Heritage Advisory Commission. They have been working, you know, directly with applications for buildings and so on in the community. They have some suggestions.
Did you have a committee on the one that looks after accessibility for handicap too? Mr. Rod is chaired, so it might be worth sending. I would recommend we send to the two committees.
I'll second that.
Hearing no debate on the motion, all those in favor? Carried. Next late item is a proclamation for Multicultural Week. Mrs. Olson, do we have any information about who sponsored this or who's asking for it?
I don't take the worship, I'm sorry.
No, I didn't get into the worship. This is all the information we received on
Council, yeah, I'm sorry. Council, we should realize that unless Council changes it, the policy right now is that proclamations are supposed to be sponsored by a group within